Hi, teacher.
Hello, Katanina Namin. How are you guys doing with this, with the changes?
Hi, teacher. How are you?
How are you doing with your kids?
I'm going crazy, teacher.
Yeah, a lot of work. Your work plus your kids' work.
Yes, and your house, work, and everything. It's all accumulated.
But since you work, since you have this business with tennis, so you stopped, but you have to do something else?
Yes, we have to do a virtual planning for the kids, but all not like playing or anything like that, but all the didactic part of tennis.
Mm,
So we have to do a lot of programs for them because in schools, the vocacionales is like a part of the schedule of the activities that they have to do during the whole year of class. And if they fail, for example, that subject, then they are going to have problems during the year. So they demand us to do a lot of things virtually.
okay.
Yeah.
I've been asking other students who are also teachers, and they told me that they've been working a lot because they have to move their contents to platforms and to virtualize like the information they had.
Yeah, and the problem is that teachers are not used to do a lot of virtual classes, so they don't really know how to do them.
Yeah, and a lot of people are learning. A lot of people are in that
Yes.
process of learning how to do that.
Good evening.
Hello, Joanny. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I go to my house in this moment.
You're going. So, but
Yes, I had to work
why? Are you a teacher?
because no. I'm not an English teacher. I work as a security coordinator in the operation room, so I have to work 24/7.
Okay, I got it. Okay, but I guess this time it's faster to get home, isn't it?
No, it takes me 2 hours to get to my house.
Mm,
If far away, it's too far. My work from my house.
okay. And
Yes,
then
but at this moment I have to protect myself because I am in Transmilenio in this moment, and there are a lot of people here, And when I get home, I have to take out my clothes, and I have to go to my bathroom to take a shower immediately, right away, because I have a daughter and a family. I have to prevent about the coronavirus because it's very important now, because here in Bogota there are a lot of people with that virus.
okay, good. So, if you prefer, I won't ask you like any questions. So you're telling me that there are a lot of people in the Transmilenio this time. So, if you want, stay and listen to the encounter. So, like, if you have
Okay,
a
okay, teacher.
mask,
Yes,
can use it and
I'm
perfect.
going to be here. I'm going to listen in all the synchronic encounter because it's important for me. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I mean, what about you? Has it been difficult for you?
Hello, teacher. Yes, it's so boring. But these days, I I recording music,
Mm,
um, creating.
trying to do something else.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Well, guys, I uploaded, I published the feedback of most of the tasks. Hello, Caro. I need to upload the feedback of the last task that was a week 7 task. And I need Carol and I need Aliana to publish the self-evaluation. And the deadline for you guys to finish the Dexway exercises is March 29th. So tomorrow I will be working on assessing or grading your task 7, and I will publish the grades that I have so far. So the self-evaluation plus the other ones. And the one that will be missing is the grade of Dexway. I will publish that on March 30th in the morning, so you can check the final grade as soon as the deadline of Dexway is finished. Right?
Okay, yes.
Okay, good. So,
Teacher, the Dexway doesn't finish tomorrow or today?
no, the deadline for you guys is March 29th. Since it was there was a delay when you were given the password or the information, the access. So that's why you will have the deadline for you guys will be the 29th to finish those exercises in Dexway. Okay.
Okay.
And tonight you guys asked me to prepare an encounter to review some phrasal verbs. So we will practice that with some questions. So here first we have some very common phrasal verbs. Any of you like identify those phrasal verbs? So phrasal verbs are those verbs that have two words. One is usually a preposition and the other word that goes at the beginning. So these pictures represent like some very common phrasal verbs. Do you identify any of those?
Stand up.
Exactly. Any other?
Wake up.
Right, Carol, wake up.
I don't know if
Run
the
away,
first.
maybe.
Catalina?
I don't know if the first one could be look out.
Well, usually when we have those signs, it's because we need to be careful. So instead of saying careful, we have a phrasal verb which is, any of you know?
But can you say look out, like watch out?
Watch out.
Teacher, now.
Giovanni?
Sure, but I don't understand what exactly means watch out.
Watch out is be careful.
Ah, okay.
Teacher, number 6, you say for example, the alarm clock didn't go off.
Okay, but that is turn off. Turn off the alarm clock. Number 3, when you call let's say to a company and you need to wait. What is a synonym for wait? Then
Hold on.
music. Hold on. Right. Sometimes you listen to the music while you hold on. And number 5.
Maybe run away.
It would be the opposite. If the boy we're looking at the opposite, or at the, yes, at the other, at the opposite way, would be run away, but he is a synonym of arrive. Instead of saying arrive home, you can say
Check in?
no.
No.
Come back?
Okay, could be come back,
Get in, get in, get in.
could be get in, and could be get back. Right? So those are very common, but we will study other ones that are not that common. Good evening, Daliana and Paola.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm okay. Good. Here we have cut down. So cut down is when you reduce the consumption of something. So for example, if you are on a diet, so you stop drinking cola, juices, and you stop eating cakes and chocolates, and you start eating something more healthy. So to cut down is to reduce the consumption of something. Are you guys cutting down on something?
Yes, my sleep.
Your sleep? Okay. Lots of work. So how many hours are you been sleeping?
Teacher, for example, I put down sweet possible.
You cut down what? You repeat?
I could down some sweets or some.
Yes.
See?
Yes. You cut down some sweets, or you cut down
My budget.
Yes, you cut down your budget. But what is, how did you change it? Catalan, how did you change your budget? What is?
I'm not spending as much as I spent before because I have to save money for buying food.
All right. And then we cannot do like, we cannot spend money on, let's say, entertainment, because we cannot leave home, right? So
Yeah. For example, I'm not spending money on my car right now because I don't need a car. There's no need for a car. So I spend my money on food because I need the food.
exactly. So you cut down on your budget, you cut down on sweets, you cut down on sleep. What else? Any of you, are you cutting down on something?
Wrinkles. More kindness.
Wrinkles?
Yes, teacher.
Teacher, is possible mention it with persons? For example, I cut down some friends or not?
No.
Just for objects.
Oh, yes, for things.
Okay, okay, teacher, thank you.
So Daliana is addict to Pringles, so she's cutting down on Pringles.
Yes, and mints as well.
Okay, good. Here we have other one. Dress up. So dress up is when you wear elegant clothes. In what occasions do you guys dress up for?
New Year's
For a party.
For a party?
For an interview.
In an important meeting or in a graduation.
So, Carol, you said that for an interview. Did you have an interview recently?
Yeah, in December.
In December, what for?
This was for work in a shop. and for working in a fashion shop. So they request to dress up.
Okay, so you dress up for that interview. And did you get the job?
Right, but finally I didn't take it because my parents decided to travel, so I couldn't.
Well, you didn't want to leave to leave it to
Yes,
you wanted
yes.
to go with your parents.
No, but they didn't allow me to stay here at home, just me. So I have to leave because sometimes I prefer work. I like it, but I have to take a risk with them.
Okay, good. Paola, you said that you dress up for special occasions. Did you dress up recently for any special occasion?
Yes, teacher. I dress up. I don't remember. In a interview or in a important meeting. In my school, in my work.
Was that parents' meeting or
Yes, parents meeting.
okay? That reminds me that when I was a teacher at a school, we also had to dress up for parents' meeting, and I was asked to use makeup. I usually don't use makeup. I usually don't. But
No, teacher. I don't. I usually makeup because I don't like. But when I have parents meeting, it's mandatory.
yes, it happened to me at that time. Okay, anybody else has dressed up recently for a special occasion?
Yes, teacher, I have to dress up twice a week to go to schools to promote the tennis classes.
Oh,
¿Le pueden bajar un poquitico que estoy en clase?
who else? Who else has dressed up recently?
Dress up 2 weeks ago because my best friend got married.
And when was that?
Was in the church in the neighbor in the town Las Ferias. I forget the place, the name of the place, but it wasn't in the ferias, and the church was there. But we can celebrate in a big place because of the things that start to happen. So was a really close meeting, just with some friends and family.
Was it a week ago?
2 weeks ago.
Ago. Okay, good. Anybody else dress up recently? Or
Sure, in the Women's Day for a lunch with my brother and my boyfriend. They invited me to lunch, to the dinner.
when was that?
In the Andinos chapel.
Arandinos Mall?
Was yes, teacher was near there in a restaurant, but I don't remember the name right now.
Okay. Good. Let's study a different one. When was the last time you got into trouble? So get into trouble is when you make a bad decision that caused you problems. Right? So when was the last time that you got into trouble and why?
Teacher, I just remember one that was really hard. It was in my first semester on medicine, like 3 years ago. And about an elective, and teacher, how do you say electiva? Una materia electiva?
Let me check.
So, well, it's about the cátedra. We look it in this university too. So the final exam, one partner decide to make it for money. So at the beginning, I say no, obviously no, I will do it. So in this moment, my friends arrived to the library and they told me, oh no, but everybody do it, so not problem. And I say, no, no, no. But I continue studying in the library, and in the library are some computers. So the guy arrived to me and told me, if you want, I can make the exam for you, but for 1,000. Yes, one. I always confuse 1,000 is mil, ¿cierto, teacher?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I always confuse it with 100, 1,000. So I was doing some job and I say, okay, okay.
For
And
10, for 10,000.
no, one, 1,000 pesos.
Yeah.
1,000, no? Yes,
Uh-huh.
because the whole semester do it. So was around 100 or more, around 200 persons who do it. So well, we arrived the day of the class and the teacher say, something wrong happened. Everyone passed the exam in 10 seconds. And we was like, yeah, and well, as we are studying medicine, it's possible to put a negative check in the CD, in the CV, teacher, in the hoja de vida.
Yes.
So it is terrible for us because they can, no. So I sent a letter with apologize, and I do that. 200 people put their
Signature.
firmas, teacher,
Signature.
their signatures, and that was terrible. So since this moment, I never type it again. Was inexpertise, I believe, of the first semester.
Hmm.
Yes, I
For
remember.
1,000 pesos. Look,
Yes, teacher, but was around 200 persons. So, and he wanted to break a record, teacher, how do you say record?
Keep a record.
Él quería batir el récord de menos tiempo en hacer los
Ah.
parciales. So this was the reason, because the teacher was como, what happened here? Because everyone take 5 notes and with 10 seconds.
Very obvious.
Yes, I remember it was terrible.
Carol, it's elective course. Okay.
Okay, elective course.
Elective course.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Somebody else have got into trouble
Me,
recently?
teacher.
I mean, what did you do?
Teacher, how do you say una vez?
Once.
Once upon?
Once.
I know. Once I had a concert with my band, but my guitar had all strings. And you know, when you change the guitar strings, you have to wait left 1 week to so that the string get away, o sea, the string ceder, how do you say ceder in English?
Let's see.
Estiren.
I didn't know that. 1 week?
Because if you don't wait a week less, the guitar will be out of tune.
Uh-huh.
You know? Yes, in this same day, I had a great idea. I changed my guitar strings at the then at the moment at the concert we start play guitar and the guitar completely out of tune. It was a disaster. It sounds terrible, and my partners and my band partners just saw me very bad.
Sure.
It was a disaster.
How long did you play with those strings? For 2 hours, 1 hour?
Um, what? How long?
Did you play?
45 minutes about.
Mm. Well, here it says that I think it will be like what is it? 2 E's, maybe. That is necessary to check. Maybe 2 E's. I will check later. Okay, thank you, Min. Somebody else has got into trouble recently?
Yes, teacher, me.
What did you do?
I forgot about the speed limit that they put in La Boyacá, and I forgot about it, and I exceeded the speed limit once because I was in a rush to get home, and I really forgot about the new laws.
So you got the fine?
Yes, of course, with a picture and everything of my car. So there's no way of not paying that.
Sure. And how much you have to pay? 200,000?
287 pesos.
270,000?
And 87.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes. I really forgot about it. They put the speed limit everywhere now. So, and it's a ridiculous speed.
50, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, very slow. There are no signs on the highway, North Highway, and the 68th, but the other avenues have the speed limit, the 30th, Boyacá.
Autopista, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I also had to pay some fines, but for parking in the prohibited place a couple of years ago. So I learned to respect the signs.
That's very common in
careful
Bogotá.
because yeah, I had to pay a lot of money because it was twice. I got two fines.
Yeah. You can take the course, but there's no time for taking the course.
I took the course and I got the discount. Otherwise, I would have paid 400,000.
Wow.
200 for each one.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but okay, I learned.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, here we have other one. Have you ever blacked out? So it means that when you temporarily lose consciousness or memory. Nobody has experienced that?
No, for me not. I can black out without fainting.
No, that means you are all very healthy people. Good. Okay, let's move. Here we have other one. Run into. So it means when you meet somebody unexpectedly in any place. So when was the last time you ran into an old friend at the street? And what did you talk about with that person? For example, in my case, I ran into an old friend at the beginning of the year. She was an ex-colleague at a school where I used to work a long time ago, like 15 years ago. So she gave me her telephone number, and then later we met for a lunch. We talked about the changes at the school and my experience after leaving that job. But it was I haven't talked to her for about 10 years or more. So it was good to know about her. Have you guys run into an old friend recently?
Sure.
Actually,
Actually, not
yes.
recently, but the last year, I remember in December, it was funny because it was a ex classmate from my high school, and I was in Transmilenio, and that guy just for a moment just looked at me for for a while. It was like the expressions of the face. It was like, you really want to say hi, and I was look at him, and I was like, why you look at me? Who you are? and and it's, uh, until the end, he was like, touch me, my arm. Yes, hi Dariana, how are you? Who are you? It's me, Julian. Ah, hi Julian.
You didn't
You,
recognize him.
no, it was funny. He was like, I think you really didn't want to say hi to. Yes, it was like, no, I didn't recognize you. He was like, I'm looking for you like 5 minutes. You recognize. It was funny. And from the beginning, I was like really awkward because why you look at me in this way? Why? But it was funny.
Was he an ex-classmate?
Yes,
Mm,
from high school.
or an ex-boyfriend?
In this case, I never say hi.
Don't be rude.
Okay.
Okay, Carol, have you run into somebody, an old friend, recently?
At the beginning of the year with a school friend. But we can say hello. It was like a little hello, but she had to take other Transmilenio. We was in the portal, so I say hello. I have too much. Teacher, how do you say please? Fun?
I am in a rush, to be in a rush.
Yeah. So I was going late to class, so I say hey her. I'm being a rush, so I just say hello, give me your number, and bye bye because we have to take different Transmilenios.
Did you call her later?
Yes, of course. And I talking with her by WhatsApp. Currently we have a WhatsApp group with other friends for don't lose the contact.
Okay, great. And Giovanni,
Yes, teacher. I ran into an old friend at the street 2 weeks ago. It was, well, okay, I'm going to tell you, it was in January. Um, and to tell the truth, he wanted to talk to me about his life. It was my day off. I invited him to the coffee shop, and we were talking for 4 hours. He's amazing because he's a talkative. He speaks too much. But it was a nice experience. He was talking about his life in Dubai, and it was great. It was great because he was working in the military base, just about 2 miles from Dubai, In his free time, he go to Dubai and the culture, and which we were talking about different things, and he showed me different pictures or whatever. And to tell the truth, I told him, okay, I'm going to invite you to in another occasion to my house, and we are going to share more about the experience in Dubai because 4 hours and he couldn't finish to talk. He speak too much.
Did you study with that person at school?
Yes, yes, of course. I
Mm,
studied with him in the high school.
okay, good. Okay, here we have other one. Deal with. So deal with is when you have to face a situation, a difficult situation, or solve a problem. Sometimes we need to deal with people that are not easy to talk to. For example, people who are angry. So have you deal with an angry person, and why, and what do you do?
Yes, teacher. Well, I deal with difficult clients very often because they demand too much. And the problem is that they want the kids to be professional tennis players. And there are some kids that, even though they play very often, they are not able to be professional ones. So you have to deal with very, very angry parents because they expect too much from the kid.
That's kind of common in private schools, right?
Yes.
Parents want their kids to be perfect, to be excellent in all the subjects. It doesn't happen.
Yes, and sometimes they introduce the kid into something which they are not prepared just because they have like a frustrated dream, you know?
Uh-huh. It also happens.
So it's really hard to deal with them.
Yeah. That's the difficult part of working for schools.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Have you
Yes,
dealt?
teacher. Yes, teacher.
Paola?
For example, frequently I try to solve problems between parents and my my boss, la rectora del colegio, Major, the Major.
Could you repeat?
Excuse me, teacher. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, teacher. I try to solve problems between parents and the principal of the school, rector or rectora del colegio.
Yes.
Because the parents I don't pay. I don't know how do you say mensualidad, pensión, on time.
Okay.
On time.
The
Then
tuition.
is, excuse me?
Tuition.
Tuition. Okay, this is a problem. Then, how do you say me meto de boba? Por no decir otra cosa. But it's important for me help to my principal.
You are in the middle of the situation.
Yes.
Okay, so you with angry parents?
Oh yes, terrible. How do you say tacaños?
Tacaño is forgot. That's stinky. Oh, hold on.
Stingy.
Stingy.
Selfish.
Selfish.
Stingy.
Thank you.
Okay. Stingy.
Yeah.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, here we have get rid of. So when you want to throw something, you want to eliminate that. So you get rid of that, get rid of. What would you like to get rid of in your house and why? For example, I have 2 boxes of photocopies. I want to get rid of them, but I really think that I need to check them in advance because what happens sometimes is that when I throw them away, then I need them. So there are copies about many things and they are in 2 boxes that are awful in my house and I want to get rid of them, but I need the time to check what I have in the boxes. Do you guys have something at home you want to get rid of?
Sure, I am like you because I am like, como dicen en acumuladora.
No, I don't have those 50 bags. I just have 2 bags.
like the program, but this happens to me with the documents of the college. So I always believe that I will need it after in other times. So, but really, in my case, I never remember that I have it, but I have files. So I put the name about the course and the semester, more or less the issues for 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 review it in other occasions. So I have a lot of files, but I didn't get rid of these files yet. So, but I believe I have to do it. But I always think to in the ecology, so I say, but if I get rid of these things, I don't know, I feel back with the ecosystem. So I prefer save it, and I have a lot of.
No, I really need to throw them away, but when I check them, I start checking them. It has happened before, so I see, oh, this is interesting. I want to read this later. It's like what you said.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
read this later, and
I do
I
it
have 2
with
bags
my
of things that I want to read later. I don't have the time
yeah.
to read them later.
Yes, teacher. I do it with my email too because I am subscribed to some scientific webs. So
Journals.
journals, right? So they usually send me information. So I didn't erase it. So my email have a lot of emails, and I never erase it. So I have a tone that I always say I have to read it in some time. Yes.
You don't have
In
to
my
do.
Facebook profile, I have it to block it, but I always publish it for reviewing other time when I don't have time. I say, okay, I can save it. So yes, my Facebook profile, I have a lot of, of these things too for
Of
review
information to review
after.
later.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah,
Yes.
same happens to me. Somebody else who has something you want to get rid of?
Me, teacher, a long time ago, I had a lot of music books, uh, cassettes, and this time. Uh, but how did you say me fui a ir?
You
I
moved.
lived in Bogota around about 10 years ago.
Okay, so you have the your internet was so slow, so I just understood that you had some cassettes, right?
Why, teacher?
Your internet was slow when you were talking, so I just understood that you had some cassettes at home, right?
Yes, music cassettes, CDs.
Uh-huh.
I went to live in Bogota, and I live in Bogota 10 years.
No, I mean, sorry, we couldn't hear. We couldn't hear what happened with the cassettes. Okay. While he solves the problem, let's change it. We have turned down, which is to refuse or do not accept an offer, that any type of offer. So have you ever turned down an offer and then you regret it? And when and what happened?
Sir, it is possible to use with presents or gifts or just with opportunities or offers?
Yes, with objects too.
Okay.
Have you guys? Have you ever turned down an offer?
Yes, teacher, I turned down an employment offer.
And why did you regret about it?
I was pregnant at that time.
Uh-huh.
The offer was in Germany, so I couldn't move there because I wanted my kid to be born here in Colombia. So I had to turn it off, but at the beginning I did regret about it, but then afterwards I didn't.
I see. Well, it was not easy to, I guess, make the decision, but if you wanted if you wanted your baby to be born here, so.
Yes, I wanted my mom close. So I think the love of my mom and everything with my family was more important for me at that time.
Sure. Okay. Somebody else? Julia, you have not answered any question tonight. Julian? He's offline. Okay. Somebody else have turned down an offer?
Teacher.
Beliana? No?
No, teacher.
Okay, good. Let's move to other one. Get round to. So get round to is when you accept more responsibilities than the ones you are able to respond, because you don't have the time or because you just can't do all those tasks. So is there something you have been meaning to do for a long time but never, no, sorry, get round to, I was confused with the other one. Get round to is when you just postpone the decision of doing something. Yes, you just have that in mind. You have the project, but you say later I will do that. Not now because I don't have the time. So have you been in that situation that you want to do something, but you never get round to?
Well, for me, teacher, it always happens with the school meetings of ex-alumnos.
Uh-huh.
I always, every year, I think, okay, this time I'm gonna go. But eventually I have like a lot of things to do and I just think too much about it and I never end up going.
Okay.
I always say next year, next year, next year. And I think I've been like that for around about 8 years now.
So have they met for about 8 years on a row?
Yeah, on a row, no, every year. Like they do it every time, every single year, once a year. But the last time I went to a meeting of those was 8 years ago.
Okay. So, and when do they usually meet? At the end of the year, at the beginning of the year?
In the middle of the year, they like do a small party in school, and all the ex-alumni are invited, and you can go with your husband or whatever, and just to have like a brunch
Uh-huh.
and just like to talk to everybody and to see how everybody's doing. But I have no time for that, so every time I postpone it. And I don't know, since Facebook is created, it's easier to know about your ex-companions. So,
Okay, so you don't get round to meet them.
yeah.
Okay. Somebody else?
Sure, maybe since the quarantine begins, because with my friends we usually don't have to time to get a meeting. So we say, okay, in this time we're going to have a video a video meeting, a video call. But I just say so I tell her that yesterday, but I have to get around it because I have a lot of work in this time. So I am the, how do you say, culpable fault,
No, the guilt. The guilty.
the guilt.
The guilty.
Oh, right. See, but I don't know how to pronounce it right. Guilt.
Guilty.
The guilty. I am the guilty that my friends uh, don't get a meeting. So I always to get around our meetings for the time for the study.
So you are the one in charge of inviting all the members to join the encounter.
Yes, but it's like I always told her they that when I have time, that cuando tenga tiempo, that when I
When you
have
have
time,
time,
I will tell they for make it. So I say tomorrow I have time, and suddenly no, you have a quiz in my other college. So no, guys, I have a quiz today. I have to study. Sorry. So yes, they always wait for me, but so I get found my.
maybe you have to try it out at 4 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yes, I don't know because Sunday is for it's the weekend. I try to make a lot of English, so during the week, so it's difficult, but I try.
Yeah, so well, if you say that you get like on-spot meetings with your other university, that's not easy for you to set the encounter.
Yes, but I believe that this week will be more relaxed, more relaxing. But no, not was in this way.
Okay. Julian, are you there? Could you turn on your microphone?
Teacher?
Yes.
Paola. Teacher, in my case, I would like to do exercise or to go to the gym, but uh, actually I don't find the time to do this activity because my house, cleaning my house, my work, this year I open my store. Uh, it's impossible for me.
So you don't get round to go to the gym.
Mhm.
Hmm. I was thinking about exercise today. I was thinking that I always said I don't have time to exercise, but it's just because I don't get round to do it because I could do it at home. I think I'm lazy about exercise. That's why I don't get round to do that. Okay, here we have give up. So it's when you quit or you stop doing something. So here, what advice would you give to someone who is giving up their job to start their own business? Those of you who are self-employed or work at home, or yeah, that you have your own business, what advice would you give to someone who is giving up their jobs in an office to start their own business?
I don't know, teacher. I think I will advise them not to do it as long as they have the new business on a roll, because it's really hard to when you're used to receive certain amount of money and suddenly you don't receive it anymore. It's really hard to get used to it. So if you are opening a business, I think you shouldn't quit your job for just opening that business, as long as you have like a steady money with you.
Yeah, but in this case, give up their job is like exactly stop working in the office to start a new business. But I guess your advice would be to plan your budget or have a
Yes.
budget so you know how much money do you spend when you quit the job, when you give up your job, when the person gives up the job. That's a very good advice.
Teacher, maybe be patient because the great part of the people that try to give up their jobs is uh, leave the new business because they don't are patient. I know a friend that was told me that they leave Bogota and they went in Tunja trying to put a business, and there she failed because she didn't have enough patience. And other person bought the business to 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 she, and for this person it was very it was great. The business provides enough money. So the all problems that she had for this person, I believe, thanks to the patient. How do you say superar, teacher?
Overcome.
The other person overcome all difficulties that they have, and now the business is going up. So she felt very bad about it, because if he had been more patient, maybe currently this business was aware of she
So your advice would be you need to be
be
patient.
patient.
You want to
Yeah.
start your new job, your own business.
Yes.
Okay. Any other good advice for a person who wants to quit,
I think
give up
it's a
their
matter of anxiety, what Carol just said.
of anxiety?
Yes. Because when you are opening a new business, like you want to have everything ready, like you are in a rush of being the business, getting well involved. So I think it's a matter of anxiety.
So the anxiety caused by something unexpected, something new that you don't know how it's going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. Once you get used to know how it works, you you don't feel anxious. Well, I guess because my brother is self-employed. When he started his own business, he was very anxious too because, as you mentioned, Catalina, the person doesn't get the same amount of money each month, so the person needs to deal with the money in this case that my brother got each month uh, was not always the same. So he need to once he understood that he was going to get more money one month and the next month he could probably get less and the next month more or something like that, he understood that he had to be careful about the money he spent and how he spent it. So once he got used to that, his anxiety went down. He got used to that new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Good. Any other advice for a person who wants to quit to
Teacher
give up
me,
the job?
Julian.
Julian. Julian.
Teacher, I had a coworker 2 years ago who wanted to study to be a stewardess, but she felt that she couldn't do it. She can giving up the job, and I told her that she can try it and work more hard really if she really wants to do that, and that makes her happy. And she started to study, and she actually right now is working as a flight attendant, and now she's happy.
Okay, so your advice would be to try hard
That
to
she
success in the new.
in the new work, and try to study and work at the same time, because she was afraid to do that. She thinks that it's not possible to do both things at the same time. So I told her that if she really wants to do that, she needs to put a lot of effort and work even more harder, and she do it. And now she's not working with me, but she is doing something that she really makes me happy.
Okay, she changed. She gave up her job.
Hmm.
That she's doing something is that makes her feel happier.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Let's try with a new one. Here we have. Okay, you guys mentioned last time that you wanted to study also some expressions. Some expressions are have phrasal verbs, others don't. Usually expressions don't have phrasal verbs, but some of them have. So this is one of the this is an expression that has a phrasal verb that is drive up. So drives up the wall means that something that makes you feel angry or makes you feel frustrated or irritated. So what drives you up the wall?
For me, temper tantrum. I cannot handle that. I can't.
So how do you deal with that? Because children usually have some tantrums.
Yeah, they do. And especially when they are between like 2 and 4 years old.
Mm.
So, well, I think it's easier when you have to deal with the tantrum of your kid, but when you have to deal with other kids, I prefer like to walk away.
Okay.
I can't. And especially when I see that the parents are the ones that are like in charge of it, but they prefer to ignore it, I cannot deal with it.
Mm. Yeah, some parents think that by ignoring the child, they are like solving the problem, or they just don't want to face the problem.
Exactly.
Maybe they don't know how to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher. For example, the notification, is- for example, when you stay in a bus, when you are traveling bus, next to you, there are a person in WhatsApp in your your phone sounds. You say insoportable.
Unbearable. I mean,
No, teacher, my internet is not working
yes,
today.
it's slow. But you were
For
telling
example,
that
the WhatsApp notification sounds.
those
You
sounds.
know?
The sounds. The sound of the cell phones drives you up the wall. Like when
Exactly.
you remember when it was like very common to listen to people in the buses listening to different cell phone tones, so that like people were
Exactly.
trying those different cell phone tones.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Okay, so those sounds drive you up the wall. Okay, what else?
What else? No more.
Okay, so let's see other one here.
The isolation.
Well, sorry, I mean, get used to that. You need to stay home 17 days more.
Okay.
There is no other way.
70 or more.
Yeah, no, I guess we will have a week off and then we will go back to, that's what I've heard. We will have like some days off and then we will go back to the days at home. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Here we have other one. Bite off more than you can chew. It's like when you think you are very ambitious. When you're very ambitious, for example, my mother uses that expression a lot when a person asks for more than the person can eat. So that's bite of more than you can chew. But it can be not only, it can be used not only for food but for work, so that you accept more tasks that you can actually do. So have you ever been on that situation?
Or for example, the situation that we're living right now with the isolation.
So could you explain that?
Yes, like it's not necessarily me, the one that put me into this role, but the situation per se demand me to be in this role right now. So it's really more that I can handle with, more that I can shoot, you know?
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I think a lot of us are living this quarantine in that way because we were not prepared for this situation.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy. It was like nobody, or I guess more, a lot of people was not taking it seriously, because it was crazy to think that everybody had to stop doing the normal things to be at home. So at the beginning, I think that's why many people thought it was not possible to be in this situation. Okay, let's see. Put something on ice is when you postpone a project. What could be a good translation for that expression in Spanish? When you put something on ice.
Dejar a un lado.
Yes, dejar a
Como
un
dejar en
lado,
veremos.
dejar en veremos, dejar en remojo. Have you ever put something on ice?
Teacher, I would like learn Italian, but I believe that I tried, but I put it on ice.
But why?
Because the time, I believe, because because I want fiercely to perfection the English.
Okay.
So I want it, and after it gets concentrated in Italian because I like it a lot of. So I like it more than English. So I say if I begin it, I probably I don't want to study English. So for me focus on English, I prefer firstly English then Italian.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
So you decided to improve your English and then start studying Italy.
Yes, teacher is better.
Good. Somebody else had put something on ice?
Our lessons on ice, and I always think that I'll do it on December because supposedly I have more time, but at the end I never do it. I don't know why, but I never do it.
Okay. Here we have other one. To pull the wool over your eyes is when somebody wants to cheat you. Somebody is dishonest and wants to cheat you. Do you remember any person who has tried to pull the wool over your eyes? In my case, for example, last year, a mechanic tried to pull the wool over my eyes, and I think it was common with people who fixes cars, because I asked couple of or several people to please tell me where I could take a car to be fixed, because it was not mine. and I needed to, it was my family's car. I took it, I used it, uh, and then I had to go to a mechanic that was not very honest. And then I asked a couple of people about a good mechanic, and they told me it was, well, their words were, it's almost impossible to find one. So in my case, mechanics have tried to pull the wool over my eyes. Have you guys experienced something similar with a person?
I think that happens a lot with the telecommunications companies, like Claro and all of those companies. At the beginning, they offer you a lot of things and they tell you that your plan is going to be, for example, 49,900, and suddenly you have a look 2 months later and it's 60,900 or something like that. They change really often the plan that they offer you.
Yes, that also happens with those companies.
Or even with travel agency that promote a lot of things that at the end never happened with a really good price, but everybody knows that this kind of things never happen.
Uh-huh.
Teacher, or like Dariana says, it's not the price, because sometimes that's the correct price, but the pictures are really edited.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like a perfect place. So when you arrive, it's, oh my God, it's awful. So that happens, correct? That's happened too.
Yeah. So something is what you see in a picture, and something different is when you arrive to the place. So regarding cheating people, there are other ways to say it. As in Spanish, we say
Me quieren ver la cara.
sí, me quisieron ver la cara, me hicieron la vuelta, me hicieron el paquete chileno. In English, we also have different expressions. So we have sold down the river. So like in this sentence, he has been sold down the river by the people who were supposed to protect him. Or taken for a ride. I paid for the package, but it was never delivered. After 2 weeks, I realized that I had been taken for a ride. Okay, so these are also other expressions to say that somebody tried to cheat you or was dishonest with you. Let's see. Okay, we have one more, and that's the end. We have a take the road less traveled. So it's when you want to make you make a decision that is not the most common one, or you try to solve a problem that is not the most common way to solve the problem. For example, if you ask your family members how they solve X problem, and they tell you that the easiest way is X way, but you use an alternative, you try a different way, you take the road less traveled, you explore other possibilities. So have you ever done that, that you don't listen to others' advice, you take the road less traveled, probably it goes okay and probably doesn't go that well?
I think that's common in relationships. When your parents tell you not to date somebody and you just do it because you don't want them to be right.
Okay. Yeah. We think we know people more than they.
Yeah. And that's when they tell you that the experience that they have is more that what you see. And eventually they are right.
I like almost always. Then they
Yeah.
tell you, I told you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other situation in which you have taken the road less traveled?
Sure, maybe when I arrive home all days, my mom always advised to me that I don't take the road, the shortest road, because it's lonely. So let's check it. Lonely. Yes.
But that is, I mean, in reality, you have two ways to get home, and you
Yes. So
okay. The
one
first
have
one is
persons in the way, and the other one is is alone.
uh-huh.
It's alone. So sometimes I take her advice, but sometimes no. So sometimes I take the road less traveled.
Uh-huh. But in that case, in your example, Carol, you are using the expression like every word means what you wanted to say. But in this case, to take the road less travel is to uh, decide on an alternative, or not the common way to solve a problem. So, for example,
It's like como irse por el camino viejo.
or el camino fácil.
Uh-huh.
Yes, let's suppose that if I have a problem, if I need money, and I do something that is illegal to get the money, so I take the road less travel. Something that is easy, fast,
Okay.
I shouldn't do that, but I explore that. It's not the common way to solve the problem.
Like my case of the evaluation.
In the case of
Yeah.
the test that you had, you took the road less travel. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Okay, guys, if you want to review more phrasal verbs exercises or a list of expressions, you can check these web pages. But usually a good way to learn usually a good way to learn expressions and phrasal verbs is by reading a lot or listening a lot. Movies have lots of expressions. They are full of expressions and phrasal verbs. So watching a movie with captions in English will be useful. Each time you you watch the movie and you don't get the word, you read the caption, and that will help you to get vocabulary, learn new words, and well, I guess in movies you will find lots of expressions and phrasal verbs.
Teacher, but it's possible to use the phrasal verbs in a formal conversation, or
Yes,
it's more
all the
common
time.
in a. Okay, it's not just for the informal.
No,
Okay.
no, phrasal verbs are very common in any situation, formal or informal.
Okay,
Like
teacher.
remember that you have, you know, some very common phrasal verbs that are wake up, sit down. So they are really common.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have a question.
Giovanni.
For example, when you watch a movie, you can see different kind of expression, slang, whatever, for example. But talking about expression, this expression we can find a dictionary or something like that to find down the right meaning, because sometimes you have subtitle, but the subtitle not always say the true, not always say the real meaning of the sentences. it's possible to find down something that helps to discover what is the meaning of that expression in English?
Well, Giovanni, what happens with the expressions is that we have different levels of of a formality. So, for example, when we just mentioned about how to express that somebody tries to cheat you, so that's
Mm-hmm.
why they can be translated in different ways. So you can, as in Spanish, you can say, eh, me, me engañaron, very formal, or me hicieron la vuelta, me hicieron el paquete chileno. So those are less formal, they are more informal. So that also happens when you see translations of expressions in movies. So
Mm-hmm.
some expressions cannot be translated word by word in a literal way, and they are translated according to
The situation.
the situation, yes, but also the culture. So
Okay.
most of the translations are made in Mexico, Spain, or Argentina. So you will see
Mm.
some translations that are that fit those cultures in movies usually, yes,
Okay,
and
thank
that
you.
they don't
Okay.
fit our culture. So that's why they might sound weird.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are right. Thank you for your advice, teacher.
Okay, but when you look for translation of expressions in the dictionary, you can also a good advice could be to use like the keyword of the expression. For example, well, here is bite off. So you go to the dictionary. So bite off would be, so you look at the expressions in the last part of the list of meaning. So here you have tells you that this is the complete expression is bite off more than you can chew, and here it tells you the the meaning. But what I'm telling you is that you take the keyword of the expression to find the meaning in the dictionary, and that is usually at the end of the list. But well, yes, as I told you, you will learn, memorize the expressions and the phrasal verbs by reading a lot. Read a lot and listen a lot. I will say that maybe if you practice the expressions that, or you read the expressions that we study tonight several times, you memorize them. But it's by using them, by reading or by listening to them a lot, that you memorize. Good. You have questions about the course? Tonight is our last encounter. I will publish the final grade by the 30th. Your deadline to finish this way is the 29th. So tomorrow I will publish all the grades except this way. By the 30th, I will publish the final grade that includes the grade of Dexway.
Okay, thank you. Teacher, I just only want to tell you that this subject was very interesting for me. I learned too much. Thank you.
You are welcome, Wani. So I guess we will meet in other courses. I was checking like the new courses. Some of you registered for theoretical linguistics 2 and for teacher for practical. So I'm also guiding those courses. So we'll meet in those virtual rooms.
Teacher, do you know what happened about practical teaching practice?
Teacher
this
practicum 1?
Mm-hmm.
No, you know, this has been unexpected. Tomorrow I have a meeting with Jorge Munoz, you know, he's the director of the program, and I was planning to ask him because I'm in charge of teacher practicum 1 and 2 in Bogota.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to ask him about those two courses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so as soon as I know something, I'll let you know. For example, Carol, Daliana, you are both in teacher practicum 1, so I will let you know what Jorge tells me tomorrow about those courses.
Sure, maybe during the vacations, because I believe that they will refund the time in vacations. So probably.
Well, you know, this is all unexpected, and we cannot make plans because it all depends on how well we do with the virus and how we get rid of that.
Yeah.
If we can get rid of the virus soon, so everything will go to normal. But if not, we just cannot make plans. So anyway, I will ask Jorge if he has any answer for those of you who are in those courses, in practicum courses.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Any question before we finish?
No, teacher.
Good. So we'll meet in other courses soon by next week. No, in 2 weeks, because next week those of you who register for the new courses have to choose the schedule for the virtual encounters, and so it means that we'll meet in 2 weeks for the new courses.
Okay. Thank you for that.
As soon as I publish the grades, please let me know if anything is if there is any mistake in the grades. By means 30 is Monday, next Monday, right?
So, teacher, you will publish the grades tomorrow, but without that sweet, right?
Exactly. And by Monday, I will publish the final grade.
Okay.
And I need you to tell me by Monday if there is any mistake in the grades, if we made any mistake, please.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you for your participation.
Okay, teacher, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Good night,
Okay, good
teacher.
night.
Take care.
Good night.
Okay, take care. Goodbye.